terms of getting the pipeline going.
While the industry tries to ramp up construction for the future, today's young people are feeling the impacts of the housing crisis. Londoners, like the students and staff at the college, face average rents which are 42% of average wages.
There's the rent, there's council tax, there's your student debt, there's working tax, you have your water bills, your gas bills, your electricity bills, and there is just basic needs and necessities as well. So there is so much to cover that it's completely overwhelming.
How do you feel about one day purchasing a property or getting onto the housing ladder?
Currently, I'm trying to save up to try get a mortgage and stuff. But
how's that going?
It's pretty expensive because
houses in London are like $1 million. They're like the cheapest 1-2 bedroom flat is about $1 million, and maybe you might be able to find somewhere for about 700,000. My sister has bought somewhere like outside, which is doesn't have as many jobs, but yeah, there's like flats there that are like 270. I think she got a 1 bedroom for 230. But yeah, this is incredibly high, considering that a lot of them actually have, like, their student debt loan isn't just a loan. It could actually be like a £90,000 loan. Some of the students are really highly in debt. I don't know what the average is, but I didn't come out of a debt because my parents paid for that and the accommodation. But if you've been paying rent for 3 years whilst studying, whilst also having to pay for the student cost, that is a lot on its own. So a lot of jobs involve needing a car. Cars are expensive to ride. It's absolutely impossible to get on the housing market, and I'm actually angered by this, because to think that all you need to do is buy more houses. Why do you think you need to buy more houses? Because aren't the billionaires just going to buy those? I mean, you can build a million houses, and yeah, the billionaires have huge amounts of money. They can buy it up, set the housing market, and again, they're going to try and get as much as possible. They're going to get companies to go in there and say, oh no, we've had 2 people showing very high interest today. If you don't make a bid today, you're probably not going to get it. And then my sister put in an offer. Now she's got no mortgage on her 1 bedroom. She was willing to take out £160,000 on her 1 bedroom, and her partner was going to take out 180. She was going to take out 180 on top of this 160 debt that she was going to have. So she was going to have huge amounts of debt. And her partner's oldest son was going to take out 100. I think they've got about 40 deposit together. But this is what you have to do to get on to get a property. But it's just, people don't have this kind of money. It's going to take them so much. So how long is it going to take for this? It's one family, and they've got 2 young kids, and he's got 2 or 3 older kids, and well, they're not kids. 2 of them are not kids any longer, but they've got things that childcare is incredibly expensive, and just the house, everything is going to fall apart because people don't have money to go to shops and buy the £5 items of toothpaste for £8. I don't believe that there was I saw a clip today where it said toothpaste was £8. I've never paid £8 for that, but I know that there are high costs in these Tesco places, or in these Sainsbury's and Tesco's. There's a whole long list of them. I don't really buy full price items in these shops. But if you are buying full price items, the economy is going to completely crash because no one has any money. So what is the point of turning everyone into slaves if turning everyone into slaves is actually going to just make them think, I give up. I'm just going to walk into shops and just take whatever I can. Shops will close down. Businesses will be lost. The economy is absolutely falling apart. And why? So what? We can build more houses just so the bankers can take them up and say, oh, they're full again. Okay, we'll build another million. Oh yeah, they're full again. The bankers, they've taken up it, and then they've sold it to people. People have only managed to save 40,000, and of course they own 75%. Like, okay, I get it. You hate everyone. You hate the people, and you've turned everyone into a slave, and now you want to decide, but what is the point of this other than just to turn everyone into a slave and to create some sort of communist system where people won't want to work. People don't feel like they can work if they can just find a way of getting on the benefits.
Living in, especially in London, everything's really expensive.
How likely is it, and when are you going to get on the property ladder? Be honest, be totally frank with me. I think you're
I couldn't tell you, honestly. You need the money to do, and I don't have the money yet.
in my lifetime, the discussion of the housing crisis has gone to a worry for.
Do you know what I mean? It feels like there's a bunch of rich people who just said, you know what, I've got a house, I'm on the property market, I've bought a couple of houses and they're renting it out, and I'm renting it out, not they're renting it, I'm renting it out, and I can make huge amounts of money, and I've got enough money for my kids. And I think people that are rich, people that are making money from the housing market, are just thinking about themselves. And you know, if there's a bunch of people that are like Andrew Tate and literally just thinking about themselves, then maybe this is what's happened. But I don't know. I don't see the point in bankers just owning 80% of the houses in England. What is the point of this other than to turn everyone into slaves? You know, you do realize by turning everyone into slaves, you're just going to turn England into a third world country, because that is what third world countries are. Third world countries are just countries where everyone's a slave, but because everyone's a slave, crime is up, no one cares about each other, the amount of depression that people have. You know, people are going to steal from each other. Why? Because they don't care about each other, because they don't even care about themselves. They just think, I didn't want to be here, I didn't make myself a slave, other people have treated me like a slave, so I'm going to treat them with the same disrespect. And I don't even know who these lying bankers are. And I would love for just a huge number of people to die, and then for the people that have survived on Earth to just be nice people that actually care about each other, that actually think, you know what, I can buy up 90% of the properties, but I'm not going to. Why? What would be the point of that? What would be the point of me owning 90% of the properties? So I can turn everyone to a slave and make them pay £1,000 or £2,000 each month just so that they can live in a home whilst working. You know, the economy is completely falling apart. You've done nothing to deserve this money that you're just stealing off people because you are rich and you've got the money. You've created a completely false housing market. You've got a bunch of houses that are now worth tons and millions or billions even, and now you're just thinking, I want to lie to people so that I can build more houses, so that I can buy them up too, and then, oh look, they're still not. You know, you could build 1 million houses, you can build 1 billion houses, you can build a zillion houses, but if a bunch of people are just going to say, right, I bought them, there's not going to be enough houses, because they're the ones who are setting the market. And the world should not be like this.